And I'm gonna type something up for tonight. I just wrote myself a little
You can always
cheat
watch
sheet.
them on.
Let's go ahead and do a vote officially for Marie as secretary.
Oh,
So,
I thought
all in
everyone.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so.
Because, yeah, last time we met, Lisa talked about, as far as like minutes go, of even kind of creating like a general template that we could actually take turns taking minutes.
Yes.
The easy
Right.
wording of, it's not, it doesn't have to just be the secretary taking. She had said we could actually kind of share the duties of minute taking if we wanted to, we could on a rotational basis, or she could create like a standard kind of template we could operate
Right,
from. That way,
right.
it's not just,
Yeah.
like, Marie used to be the official secretary, she would publish the minutes, post the
Yeah.
minutes, but we can help as far as
And
note taking and
sometimes,
things like that.
sometimes I get too detailed, but it doesn't have to be, you know. Just
Well, I mean,
You did a
if I
wonderful
type
job.
them up and I send them out and you want something added or adjusted, then
Right.
I'll do that. So
Right.
I'll do a draft and
Sounds
then, oh gosh.
So what will Marie do?
Okay, so we'll call the meeting to order.
Be an office.
I gotta.
We have to have the two officers.
First of all, I'd like to thank John,
Yes,
John,
John.
giving him orders already, for joining the library board.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'd like an approval of the agenda, please.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Everyone?
Aye.
Aye.
Jacob. And approval of the minutes from the June 6th, 2023 meeting.
I make a motion to accept the minutes. June 6th.
Second,
I'll second.
all approved?
Aye.
Okay. And there's no public comments, so we'll move on to the budget reports.
Okay, and this is what Lisa sent me. Kathy was on vacation, so they may look slightly different than what we get occasionally. I don't know.
So the expense report is the first one, that like page 3? Am I understanding that right?
Yeah,
Yes.
usually the one
Okay.
that we focus the most on is page 3.
Okay,
So this is pretty much the end of the fiscal year. So we're at 100% of the fiscal year. June is done. We'll see the new budget numbers reflected in the next month's reports. Few categories we were a little over on. I don't think anything too serious. Travel, training, and conferences, and I think we did take care of that in the next budget. Repair and maintenance of,
What page are you on, Melissa?
3.
The big long one?
It would be nice to number these
know
pages.
it.
when we
Yeah,
come
they
in,
are,
wouldn't it?
the numbers.
well, if it's an expense report, I think it'd
Yeah.
be nice if it said expense.
Yeah.
You know, because
Right.
here,
Yeah.
here it says, you know, I don't know, I just,
Right.
Physical,
It's confusing.
some functions, yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the first
The
two
first page
pages
is library
show,
reserve and
yes,
interest.
okay.
is library reserve expense report?
No.
No.
Well, all right,
Okay.
this report shows what was expended out of the reserve. So a lot of it is FEH,
For the architects.
yeah. Some of it says reclassified, you know, so I think that is when
The
they
first
move
page,
money.
You're talking
Yep.
about the first page.
This is the first page.
And that's what I had a question on, what does
Try to make it right.
what does
Notes.
reclassification
I think-
entail? I see on that
Yeah,
noted a
I
lot.
think what that is when the city looks at a budget line and says we need to shift money into that line to cover the expenses. Or, in this case, I guess it would have been money taken out of the reserve to cover the expenses
Right.
of FEH.
Right,
And-
and like it goes to 021 and it goes to 210, you know, so there's just different category. If you see that, you know, reclassification 873 to, you know.
Right.
And it gets cut off, you don't really know where some of it goes, but I
Right.
just,
Yeah,
it's just moving funds from one to the other, right?
yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think Lisa or Kathy are a little bit better at explaining this particular report than I would be, but
Well, especially
I know
when it
you can see on the
totals
second page, like it
3,000.
talks about grants and bunco money gone in and some of the fundraising stuff that's happened. So it looks like this first report with the reserve has a lot to do with the new building and,
The first page
And
is
some
really
of the-
basically all FEH.
yeah.
Right.
It looks like the
A
first
lot of it,
page is
yeah.
the
Yeah.
expenses from the reserve, and the second page is money taken into the reserve.
Revenue.
Right.
Right.
From donations and grants and fundraising.
So the next page.
So the third page, that's usually where we
Page 5.
spend a lot of our focus, I guess. or-
Okay.
Page 5
and-
packet, page
Right.
3.
Meaning what?
Right.
When you, what do you,
Um,
what one are you referring to as the third page, I guess?
Okay, it says at the top, calendar 6/23/2023, comma, fiscal 12/23.
Okay.
Percent of fiscal year to date.
Mhm.
Okay, so. And then it kind of breaks down each line,
More like
like
page 5.
where we came out on different things. So, for
Huh?
example,
It's page 5.
on software, we were
Right.
over by 960. I'm not,
What line is that?
6419, software.
Okay.
And that could be that Apollo's fees were more, it could be something to do with bridges or hoopla. I would probably want to dig into that one a little bit and see what all came out of there,
It could very
so,
well be hoopla because that expense was more
yeah,
times than we thought it was going to be.
software. But I am going to look into that and
Okay.
have them run a report that kind of goes into detail on why that line was over, because we need to know that for future budgeting. Travel, training, and conference was over. I'm not sure how we missed budgeting anything the previous year, but I know we fixed it for the coming fiscal year. Board member compensation's over. You guys have had more meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that happens. Let's see.
In that travel.
Yeah, the
It's
travel one we dealt
316.85.
with.
Yeah.
And I think
Okay.
Yep.
with the overtime, I believe that was me. There were just a couple times where I wound up having to put more hours in the 2-week period. But that does not happen very often. I'm very careful with that because I'm I'm not salaried. I'm
Well,
40
we
hours
had
a
all
week.
those
so-
supervisors meetings, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I try not to, I don't do that, but,
So here it says the library reserve 79,000 whatever.
right, 75.
Now it says 75,
That's
490.
that 3664 on that first page.
And I
Yeah,
know,
now.
that, just that.
It
And
just
what
went
about all that other?
I know when I
Where'd that
emailed,
money come from that went back here in the FHH? It's 29,770 a couple times. Where does that come from? That's not 20,970.
design development, yeah, those are all our FEH bills.
So where does that money that comes reserve when?
Yep, they take,
Come as
that all
out of
came
reserve.
out,
Reserve.
Yeah.
that came out of the reserve, and then on the second page of that one, it shows, I believe, what's in there
In there?
right now.
Is that what that means?
Yep, yep.
Because this didn't balance out.
So some of it has to do with like the fundraising and the grant writing and all
Right,
of that.
I figured
so
that, and, because a lot of the people that donated money went
Went to the reserve,
into Dubuque.
or went, yeah,
Right.
to the
Yeah,
foundation.
Foundation.
Yeah,
And we didn't want to use that until.
Till we have to.
Yeah.
right, and then
Yeah.
some of those names are private, so then I mean, like this, it kind of shows like Happy Joe's fundraising this much.
Right.
Penny War this
Okay.
much, that kind of thing, so I think that they'd be more apt to show who, unless they were told not to, probably. Let's see, so yeah, software, I'm gonna get an answer as to why we're over on that. Repair and maintenance of equipment. Let's see. I can get a more, a more detailed report on that as well. I don't think that would be a problem. And then some of these numbers are more generated from City Hall, so like,
Yeah, like Onward Bank.
professional fees, we have 245 left. Library, films, books, reference, all that, 90724 left. Office supplies, 1,522 remaining. Miscellaneous, we had $36 left, so we did pretty good figuring that one out. Postage, we didn't spend anything. We typically use the van, so it's not been a major issue there. Program materials, we had 567, 47 remaining. Capital improvements, we didn't spend very much there, so we have 2,135.27 remaining. Library reserve, it shows 75,490.61 cents, and I think at the next meeting, we might see more on that report. I know Lisa, when she sent these to me, said that, you know, some of the stuff is still coming out, so we might not see everything yet, or going in, or professional fees, we're over by $109,000, but I think, we didn't know FEH and all of that, so yeah, that's,
So we can take a really good look at this, and then at our budget for this fiscal year, and see how we're gonna
right.
make out. If we, because we're, I think, what, 3,000 under budget this year than we were last year, right? Something like that.
Okay, yeah.
You mean we've
As far as
spent,
what we budgeted for next year, you mean total?
Right, for
Yeah,
this,
yeah, we're-
for this current first fiscal year, we're in that now.
Yeah, so we budgeted a few thousand less for
Yeah.
books and
Yeah.
supplies and stuff, yeah.
Okay.
when you're long on something else, can't that be used for anything we were over budget?
So, I'm sorry.
Like
what?
there's a one.
Well, yeah, I
You know what I
understand what
mean?
you're saying, like, if we have more in one category than another, doesn't that kind of fill in for that? My instructions at this point are, no, it
No,
does
it doesn't.
not,
Yeah.
so.
So where does that extra go?
I
that
think
we
they have to
haven't
do a
spent?
budget amendment in order to move between lines, so. And I think maybe we show that we still have 260,000 remaining, probably because of the reserve and some of that money going in. Because it shows like $286,296.29 under the cap outlay, which I think has to do with the building. So.
Okay.
So, you know, I think what we figured last month was that there was 17,000 remaining dollars. So hopefully we'll know by next month whether or not that's going to the reserve or how that's playing out. Because I don't think.
That's where we hope, that's where it's gone in the past.
Right, that
Yeah.
is where any funds remaining have gone in the past. So. And then, so the next page, I guess we could call it page 4, just kind of goes into detail. Those 4, 5, and 6 go into detail for each line. I guess that would help with repair. Well, I see like cleaning was done. There's probably just something in there that put us a little over on that line. I mean, repair and maintenance is a little hard to always get right on, just
Yeah,
because
the
something
door,
could
yeah.
come up.
The door was a problem a few times. too.
Oh, the door is
Always.
the bane of my existence. It still locks itself on occasion. Yeah, so you can kind of see there what's going on. Yeah, I will get a more detailed report certainly on 6419, just because I would like to know where exactly we went over on that one, so that we know for future budgeting, we can get it a little more on target.
Can you email that to us?
Yes, I
So you
will.
won't have to wait till.
Yep, I will email. I'll be getting it for both of those, the
Okay.
6350, which was building repair, and 6419.
Okay.
So I will ask Kathy and then email those out to everybody. And forward. There. And I guess,
Not getting rich on the foundation.
no, the next report is the endowment fund. And.
It's hanging in there anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And we have money available to spend, but we talked about just leaving that
Right.
there, so that's where it stays, so.
And when we did the Great Give Day, that money went to the new building
Yes,
instead of going into the
Endowment.
Yep.
endowment.
and that money was
How much?
2,700.
27? Yeah, 27 something, yeah.
So I was very happy, very
Yeah.
pleased. A lot of people from Cascade were big contributors there, which surprised me.
That's good.
I got a couple of the attorneys that worked for my mom's firm when I was in Dubuque, so.
Good.
The one gave $10 and he asked Mom, was his name going on the building? I said, no, I don't think so.
Just a little light.
But we appreciate the gift.
So what exactly is the endowment fund? I'm sorry. that
Okay.
I should,
That was created 2 years ago. My daughter Nancy and her
Oh,
husband
okay.
Peter donated $10,000.
Very good.
And that created the endowment.
okay, good. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and then in the future, when there's, after the new building, if there's things that,
Mhm.
then that endowment is there to,
Okay.
for people to
Kind of a place
give
for future
to.
gifts, yeah.
Yeah. And people
I-
to leave legacy gifts and that kind of thing.
Okay. Okay, moving on to the bills.
Okay, so it may have been more than I said last month, but the Telegraph Herald renewal came through, and prior to this year, I wasn't really tracking like exactly when that stuff came through, so I have created a spreadsheet on my computer to give me an idea of when those renewals are coming through, so that'll help me in future years. Let's see. Yeah, I did not,
So that's part of what created the 1,700 for the first month of our new fiscal year.
right, the 1897.
And Hoopla was 300.
Yep. Which we anticipated
Yeah.
that it
Yeah.
would go up. You know, a lot of our renewals hit in the summer months is what I'm noticing, like Newsbank hit this month. And I don't have it on this, in the yellow, because it came in after I had created this report, but our bridges bill is going to be in the next month's bills, and that's $800. So you should anticipate, next month that is gonna be a higher amount.
It's going to be $100, you said?
800.
800. I
Yeah.
didn't think 100 could be. Okay.
So we can curtail books next month. Okay. Help absorb some of that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, you're gonna see what's in yellow next month for bills, for sure, but that is going to be added to the amount. And it's just the nature of how we operate. A lot of our renewals come up in the summer. So we may have more bills in the summer. We have more traffic in the summer. We have summer reading in the summer, you know, it's just kind of the way it goes.
We
And
just
then-
don't want to get into a situation that we were last
Yeah.
year. Where
Right.
we're 3 months in and we're 75% of our budget is
Right.
already used because we have a tight budget expecting that we don't have room for books.
Right, right.
So we really.
No, I'm not-
We really need to keep track of that.
Is that bridges, is that a annual,
Yes.
That's
it
one
is a
time.
One-time a
Okay.
year bill.
same as Hoopla too, or Hooplas?
No,
monthly?
Hoopla's every
monthly,
month.
right? That's
every
right,
month,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and usually knowing kind of how this stuff runs, usually like November, December, January, February are slower months for book publishers. and typically movies. I mean, at the end of the summer, there might be a couple Marvel movies or whatever the hot thing is that comes out, but I've been very particular about movies and adding them to our cart and all of that, so.
Yeah, then that's one thing we'll really have to be tight on.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
oh, I know.
Really, really, really.
But there are some that I think people will look for us to get, like Yellowstone Season 5 and 1923, which is another Yellowstone one. Those are popular, you know.
Because we have less, 20,000, and we're not even spending 2,000 a month. We need to look at 1,000 to 1,200 as what we want to spend in a month,
Yeah.
so that we've got some leeway.
What is Bridges?
It is an online, so ebooks, audiobooks, people
Okay.
can do it on their phone, on a tablet, computer. Yeah, it is well used.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions on the bills?
No, just a comment that we need to watch them.
Okay, do we have a motion to pay the bills?
I make a motion to pay the current bills.
Okay, second,
I'll second.
all approved?
Aye.
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 Circulation statistics.
Okay, next page. All right, so it is summer, so everything is up. Other than,
Mine doesn't have one.
I don't have.
Do we
it.
have something on, yeah, I don't see anything. We go right into FHA.
Here it is.
Oh.
Here it
Here
is,
it is,
after
just-
FHA.
oh gosh.
FHA?
All right.
Okay.
Sorry, I might have,
Yeah.
Flip the page.
yeah, I might have got lost in a packet.
Okay, we're good now.
Or wait a minute, is that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's way back there
okay.
on page 1.
Yeah.
Gotcha, yeah. Okay, got it out of order.
That's all right.
It's all right.
All right, circulation statistics. And somehow I got it in the right order in the packet I gave myself, though.
Oh, that's good. Cool.
I don't know why.
Thought for a minute.
Maybe. So yeah, everything is basically up. Especially for books, pretty much all sections, even Thanksgiving.
You see their overdrive and bridges, the
Yeah.
book usage.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of times there's a wait list on it because there's so many libraries that use
participate in
bridges.
bridges, yeah, definitely.
I've noticed that on Hoopla. You go to watch a movie and it's not available
Yeah.
right now or something.
Yeah, and
Okay.
sometimes I know, I've noticed when I've looked at the movies that there's, sometimes some of the brand-new stuff just isn't there yet, and I don't know what the gap is.
Does that mean someone else is watching it or just not there?
Or that
It's just not there.
above our price because
Oh, okay.
we're not paying more than $3.99
Right, per
for a
item.
book or an issue.
Okay.
So.
Trying to cap that a little bit, 'cause it's starting to
Yeah,
get pretty.
we went down and then there was hardly anything available.
Yeah.
at $2.99,
Yeah.
so
Find that
we
happy
went back
medium.
up. Yeah.
That spot
Yeah.
where
Oh,
it
okay.
still provides
So
some
it
service,
could be
but,
that
yeah.
he has it, but it's not open to us.
Yeah, or I do think that they aren't, and I'm gonna assume this has something to do with copyright laws and all of
Yes,
that
yeah.
stuff, where we don't get access to new movies right away on some of these.
Yeah, I'm
Or it's a
sure.
licensing thing,
Right.
you know, where they have to work out licensing deals for some of this stuff.
How many years have you had Bridges?
They got that, I think, when I started, because the Friends of the Library paid for that when I started, so.
Okay.
They paid for us to get going in it, because there was a $500 setup fee that was separate from being a member, so they had given the money to get us going on that, so, yeah, it's been 10 years. Now, I know, though, there are a lot of people that still obviously like print items, because you'll see our print items are,
It's so
Above
nice
and
to
beyond.
hold a book.
well, yeah, I think a lot of
I don't
people
mess
feel
with
that
it.
way.
I read
I mean,
books.
even like my younger staff, if I'm allowed to say that, Mariah and Ally, they would rather have a book. They don't
Yeah.
want to read on here. So,
It kind of depends on the generation. I'd rather hold a book. I'd
Me
rather
too.
hold
I'd rather hold
I'd
a
rather
book.
hold a newspaper.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Same.
But
Yeah.
that ship's sailing.
I don't know.
You know, there's a lot of online.
There is, but I think our numbers show that the kids, adults still prefer a
Young
book.
adult
I
at
do.
128, that's nice.
I think part of that is, people spend a lot of time in front of screens. So
Right.
if they're reading, they want
Yeah, just to read.
to read away from a screen. And I'm sorry, but they'll never make picture books as nice on a device as they do in a book.
What's the status of the hotspots? I know Rachel.
Oh,
popped in and said
gosh.
one was
Yeah, I was
broken.
gonna report on that under other, but we can do
Okay.
it now.
Oh, I just saw it here. And,
I don't know if you wanna know.
oh.
Down here? Mobile hotspot?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
No.
do it now. They're on that
Get this
statistic
hotspot and
report.
take it.
Okay, so we have one hotspot that's out right now, legitimately out, okay,
Out
not,
for rental or whatever.
right. With,
loan.
with someone that, is abiding by the 2-week loan period. We have one that,
Just use,
I-
do you want to explain to Johnny
Yeah,
real
I
quick?
know what the
I'm not
hotspot
sure what a
is.
hotspot is.
sorry, so we have like little hotspots. They're, maybe about like this size, basically. And you can turn them on and then you can use
Little
a
Wi-Fi
device
hubs.
with them. So like if you have a
Okay.
tablet,
So
you
good.
can
Yeah.
hook up to it, you can drive in your car.
We go on vacation, we'll take one of our vehicle, check one out for kids can watch movies on their iPads or traveling
Really?
and stuff, or we can have, if they're not using data, you can log into the hotspot, the Wi-Fi, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we have 3.
So you get Wi-Fi everywhere.
So one of them is legitimately out. One of them, I have been working with Fred to try to get it back. There were people that lived in town and they were being good users. They were returning books and checking out and doing what they should. And they've left town. Fred called them and the guy said, oh, yeah, he'd get it back to us on Thursday. Didn't come back. Didn't come back Friday either, so I gave the paperwork back to Fred. And then I did call Monday and I said, I'm just calling because you have this, we would really like it back. It's been deactivated, so it's no better than a paperweight at this point. Oh, I'm in Delhi and my truck broke down. I said, if you return it to the Delhi library, they will return it to me. Okay, I'll do that. And I emailed the Delhi Public Librarian and let her know that I have someone that has some items that may bring them in, and could she email me when that happens, but she has not.
good.
So, the status of that one is, it's out there, whether or not we get it back, I don't know. Fred did let him know that it's considered theft of city property, whether or not that's gonna cause an effect, I don't know, because
What's
they
the
left
cost
town.
of those again?
100.
So
They
we have
left
to
town owing utilities money too, so,
No.
So if we have to replace it, it's going to cost us $100.
right. And then we have a second one that had gone out to someone that wanted it for the weekend, and he came back in on Monday and said it's not working. So I took a look at it, did what I can do with it, still wouldn't work, called T-Mobile, or Mobile Citizen, and she worked with me and we went through a few things, and no, still not working. She said, okay, so they have fewer agents at T-Mobile today than normal. I will try in the afternoon. If I don't get one, would it be okay to call you? And then you can, work through the problem with them, but it may be that it's, defective or not working, and you'll need to replace it. And it's not under warranty anymore, so there's another $100. And
We
we
just
were
started.
hoping to.
How long's the warranty on them when you get them, or,
I know we had one that stopped working that they replaced and we didn't get charged for them.
Yeah.
It must be a year.
Because we just started this like a year ago.
Yeah.
Last summer.
So that makes me a little unhappy that the warranty's only a year, but I guess if you think about a lot of the things that you buy in your home, you're lucky if you get a year on those things too, so. But since it's the second one that I've had go defective, the first one fortunately was in the time frame that they replaced it, then that makes me question, well, should we be using you? Because, you know, this
Right.
is
Not
two
working.
that have gone defective, and now this one we have to pay for, if they can't help me fix it.
There are other vendors that do the same thing?
I would think
You
so.
would-
And I'm happy to look into
We had
it.
already checked with Cascade Communication, right? They didn't offer that
Yeah, they didn't
service.
do anything like that at that time, and I don't know that that'd be an
I
option,
wonder,
but
because
they're,
they're making some changes, maybe we should talk to them again and see if that's something that they've added.
yeah,
That's
we
a
can
good
do
idea.
that.
I think they have made
What's that?
some changes.
The Cascade Communication.
And is there any
I
further
have to pick
action
up a
that
different
Fred can
phone out
take?
there and having that
I
CCTV
will
or at the end
check
of the
in
year.
with him and email everyone. I kind of
So I-
sometimes feel like I'm stalking him because I'll look out the window to see if the car's over there.
And-
But
and
I will
some of
follow
that-
up with Fred.
Some of that
to
isn't
see
worth the
if-
bother for
Yeah,
$100.
yeah.
You know, I mean, how hard do you pursue something like that?
I mean, I can keep calling him. He was perfectly nice. Oh, yeah, yeah, I'll get it back, you know, but
Yeah,
he seems
yeah.
to be an excuse person,
Yeah.
so.
I don't know where it is.
Could be.
They moved.
How do you know your door count? Is there a counter on the door?
No, right
Or-
now we tally people as they come in.
Oh, do
so
you? Okay.
It's an imperfect system
Yeah.
because it's operated by humans.
Yeah,
But I think we do pretty good. We get pretty close.
yeah.
Um,
That's good to know,
Now,
really,
what
because
about,
that's,
we haven't discussed that.
We try not to count people like coming in twice or whatever.
yeah.
You know, unless it's like they come in the morning and staff has changed and they come in at 3 in the afternoon, well, if the same person isn't there, they're gonna get counted twice then.
We haven't discussed that with the new building, have we,
Yeah.
Marie?
Uh-uh. No,
There
that's
there
something to
will
bring up on
probably
Friday.
be an automated door counter on the new building, I would think.
Yeah.
Check into that when we.
Yeah. I would think that that would be standard with all new buildings, that it wouldn't be someone tallying behind the desk,
Move up
so,
with the current century.
right.
Okay.
So is that Bridges an ebook? Are they different things? They sound like the same thing.
Um,
Bridges is, you
right.
can read something.
Yeah, it's also Libby. I should add Libby to my stat sheet. So yeah, there are ebooks, audiobooks, some magazines on there, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe a few movies. I haven't checked to see how many movies they have on there lately, but I think they do have a few.
They being,
Bridges.
okay,
And basically, it's a statewide system, so libraries all over the state are on it, so.
okay.
If there's something that's really hot that you're interested in, you may
Might
be
be
on a
9
waiting
months,
list
yeah.
for quite a while.
And then ebooks is nothing, because it's 00, right?
Oh, that is.
Number 35.
Yeah. Someone gave us some free children's digital books, and we have these little QR codes, so I printed them off. They're in a binder in the back, so if someone wanted to, they could take their phone, scan the QR code, open the book, and on their phone and read
Okay.
it. But
Oh.
Oh,
they're
okay.
free, they're just back there. I don't worry about them
They're
too much.
kids' books?
Yeah, there's like 5 of them.
So it wouldn't even have to be on your thing there then.
Do the hotspots usually
Only
have a
had,
waiting list?
Just 2 years now.
I
Pardon me?
think
We've only had them for 2
summertime
years.
Yeah.
or around
Yeah,
a
I've done
holiday
a few
is
in
more
And then the
likely.
ones I want
I
are
mean-
available, and then I don't go back.
Yeah, I've been happy with it.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think that, you know, we had talked about increasing the number that we have available. You know, I don't know if we have any success with getting number 1 back, and depending on what's wrong with number 2,
Yeah.
you know, we'll have to wait till next month and see where we're at with all of it.
Everything.
And
Yeah.
then whether or not we can purchase an additional one, or if we're just working on replacing
Yeah.
too.
So are the three of them out most of the time?
Not during the year necessarily, unless it's a holiday break, you know, like school break or whatever. I'd say then it's more apt to be the case. I would think we could add at least one more to the collection, but I'd like to find out where
And
we're
is
at
that-
with the other two first.
And that's in our book,
Books and,
yeah.
I don't know, because technically it should be telephone, internet stuff. I want to say we put
I
it
think
in
that's
there
where we
for.
put that.
Yeah. So I think it's in the telephone, internet. You know, unfortunately, we won't have probably budgeted for replacements.
Right. yeah.
Well, we might have budgeted for additional hotspots.
It's not really software.
Yeah, I think it's phone, internet.
okay. Okay, moving on then to old business.
All right, now if you go backwards in your packet, you'll see FEH meeting minutes from the last two design meetings. I believe the last two. Swear to it.
The first page is just who was at the meetings.
Right.
Yeah. And it seems like a lot of this is going over like the colors and stuff like that, so.
Good minutes, so.
Very thorough,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Michael Gale does these.
Who's Michael Gale?
Michael Gale belongs
It's
to
not my
Kevin.
neighbor, I assume.
No, not that Michael.
It's
He
Dick
belongs to
Gale's
Kevin.
grandson.
I'm pardon?
Greg, it's Dick Gale's grandson, if you
Okay.
remember Dick
Yeah.
and Marilla.
His son is, his dad's Dick
I
Gale.
can't think of his
And
name.
he's with FEH,
Kevin
huh?
Gale's son.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went to
Kevin and
Graduated
Vicky's?
2017-ish.
Yeah, he
He
just,
went to Iowa
18.
State and
Yeah.
got hired
Great kid, not
before he
kidding.
graduated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that name and I was
Very
kind of
dedicated.
wondering.
I
I
think
knew
he's
it
very
wasn't.
good.
In fact, if you're around,
Always smiling.
you just come in and sit on
Yeah,
the- sit on the
absolutely.
meetings.
Yeah,
And
okay.
sit. It's very,
Informative.
yeah.
And they do have over there, the kind of the
Designs.
layouts, the designs. I believe
That's all
they're
the
stapled together so that
library
the
design.
contractors can look at them,
Okay.
but yeah. And don't ask me to explain any of the plumbing ones or anything like that. Cause I
Okay.
can't.
Subcommittee
Just
we-
as long as it's a toilet that flushes, you're in?
Yes. Absolutely.
Hot
And-
water and
Hot water that doesn't smell like rotten eggs, yes.
Okay, do you have anything to report, Marie, on the building design, new?
just that we're going to have another meeting on.
Friday.
This
To
Friday?
workflow kind of thing, to make sure that we've got that in order, that we don't have a lot of junk areas or areas that you're going to have congestion in the workspace.
We're going to meet with Michael Gale and Christy Monk.
Yeah.
Just those two, and
When's that?
this coming Friday at 12:30.
Yeah.
12 to.
Here.
And that's here?
Yep.
Yeah. And then
There's
the,
And that's open to anyone or?
No, well.
To the library.
no,
No.
I think this is it's just trying to get the workspace done. The next meeting is the following,
Oh, okay.
Friday, and those usually start right at 12 o'clock.
Yep.
And they are public meetings.
Let's see here. I can,
But this
You ever-
Friday is not.
No.
let's
it's
see.
just
The
five of us meeting
14th
to-
at noon,
discuss
it'll
the
be
work.
the 95% construction document
And-
meeting here.
You're figuring out how a library works and everything. Does Melissa go
Right,
to that?
it's just, you're
Yeah,
right,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
right. It's just a walk her
Yeah.
through that.
Do you ever
Kinda
run
think
into
about-
issues where like if more than 3 library board members are here?
Then
you're-
it's a public
Then it
meeting.
has to be a public meeting.
Then it should have been announced or something, right?
Right, right.
Right,
Yeah.
right. If
Right.
there's 3 people, then one has to leave
If
the
it's
third
not
person
public.
Okay,
comes in.
that's, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we ran into that at WD and boy, if
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
3 people stood and talked to each other, man, oh man,
Yeah.
it hit the fan.
Right.
What are they talking about?
Right.
And it's football. but they don't know that. They don't know that.
So you have to be very careful about.
Well, I know, but you do.
running
You know,
into each
I learned-
other.
We
We're
ran
all
into
for a
that.
walk, we run into each other on the
Yeah,
street, we gotta.
yeah.
Yeah,
Scatter.
well,
Run the other
town
way.
had that at one time where you saw stuff a while back where 3 people
Right,
were seen visiting and
right.
it just happened,
Just 2 little things that we did change at our last building committee meeting was we had chosen vinyl base, and we are now going to use wood base throughout. And we chose a color for the base, and what was the other thing?
Yeah, we did reconfigure a little bit behind the circ desk.
Yeah, the book drop.
To add more
The book drop
storage,
was a
yeah.
big
Yeah.
And
Wood
hide
base,
the
wood base
drop.
what, for,
trim.
I don't know. I
Instead
thought I
of-
read they did just the
Base.
opposite in one of them meetings, that they got away
Yeah.
from it.
Wood base?
Yeah, in the
Well,
minutes here, I was
it-
reading it.
Yeah,
They
but then you'll
switched
see it
again.
at the next.
Later on, they
at
went
the-
back
at
to
the
it,
next
they
one.
went
Yeah.
back to it.
At the next one.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's what these meetings are for.
Christie
Yeah.
talked us around.
And then we decided on the 3 different colors for the study rooms, right, Marie?
The red room and the blue room.
And what's the other room? I forget.
Is there a color
It's
for the
different.
conference room?
I think it was a gray, wasn't it?
Okay.
I know in the conference room, it's a dove gray and then darker gray on a design door, or wall or something. I remember.
Okay, anything else on that? We'll move on to summer reading program. How's that going, Melissa?
Good. We have more than I believe I told you last time.
Good.
I think we have around 150 kids.
Oh, that's
so-
good. I
Great.
wondered.
Yeah, no, I think it would just kind of we're at the beginning of the sessions and trying to figure everything out, and I don't think we quite had the numbers ready. I know our absolute science thing, we figured out we had 190 people show up for that, which just
Yeah, that was
amazes
great.
me. And Little Angels didn't even come over because of the air quality that day, so that one was well attended. And I know the kids have been coming in. This year, we kind of have gotten away from doing like the little prizes from Oriental Trading. We've been more hitting up the dollar store and stuff for, because we have a book bingo. So if they get a bingo, then they can come in and get something out of the prize box. And it just seems like the dollar store has more of a variety of stuff
Yeah.
where we're not sitting on 20 tops or something like that no
It's
one
kind of nice to be able to
wants.
see what you're going to.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And, I mean, it's not expensive stuff, but I don't know, the kids seem
It's
to
a
get
big deal.
excited about it.
Yeah.
And then they get a book to keep, which I did look at numbers for that because I was just curious. Last year, we spent, and this came out of our programming budget, $1,500 on books that we gave away to children. Now, this year, I know, I haven't gotten the bill yet, I'm anticipating it for our programming budget next month, it's around 800, so I just want it noted that it is less, and, you know,
Good.
Substantial, yeah.
I know that there's, that we want to be concerned, but I think truthfully, giving books to children is one of the most valuable parts of our summer reading program.
It encourages them.
Yeah, and they get excited that they get to take a book home and keep it, and there may be kids that don't get that at home much, so.
On the average, what would you say one book cost you?
Well, so Baker and Taylor, they have special books for summer reading where we get an even deeper discount than we normally do. So I would say they range from maybe $2 to $5 at the most, so.
Okay.
And they do give us advanced readers copies occasionally too, which are basically pre-published. They're not published yet. We can't put them on the shelves because they're not published and we haven't purchased them, but we can give them away. And so if they seem appropriate, then I add them to that group, so. There's a few that it's like, yeah, no. This I'm not touching, but.
And when is the last day of summer reading?
Joyce and I did look at that pretty carefully from last year, and we moved it up, I believe, I need a calendar in front of me. August 9th will be the last Wednesday. Because I know the year before, we went until the week before school was back in, and that was a little too long, we thought. So, August 1st will be the big foam party, so that's something we're looking forward to.
And what are you having for the last day? Are you having
Um,
ice cream, pizza, or?
The lumberyard did give us a gift certificate for $100, so I think we're gonna use that and get a snow cone machine and set it up outside and do that on the last day, so that'll be something fun.
Okay. Anything else under other?
I don't think in old business.
Okay, moving on to new business. The program, upcoming events, librarian's calendar.
All right, so this is gonna appear after your FEH minutes. Or no, after your cert stats, that's right.
Yeah.
The July 2023 library programs. July is a little bit different month in some ways. Of course, we have summer reading going on. We have a Friends of the Library meeting at 6 p.m. at City Hall. We have a book discussion towards the end of the month, The Messy Lives of Book People by Phaedra Patrick. I'm about halfway through mine.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
The Kid Parent Book Club book is Sideways Stories from Wayside School. That one is on the 31st of the month. We still have copies available of both those titles if anyone's interested. Teen Book Club is meeting next Wednesday to discuss The Cellar by Natasha Preston. Those are pretty suspenseful, I think, so. But there's a rule for that book club. You have to be a teen, so. I would encourage everyone to pick those
Who's the
books up, though.
moderator for that?
Allie
Oh, I
Casey
hope
does
so,
that one, yeah.
She does a good job.
Yeah. Nope, I'm not a teen, I can't be there.
How do you say that, Patrick, first name?
I think it's Phaedra.
Oh, that's how I would have.
That's my
a good
guess.
book, I read it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Don't ask me what it was about now.
There is
Last week.
there is no coffee this month. Carol said, well, there's not any on the 4th, and I think she just wanted a little break, and I said, that's fine, people get busy in July. We're gonna have bookmark making with Renee, and I would like it if, Marie, maybe you could send me some photos of the finished shark
Yeah,
and bunny.
she asked me to,
Because all
bring
I
those
have are
again.
the, but I'd like, if you could send me pictures for our
Oh.
promotion
Okay,
for Facebook and stuff like
Yeah,
that, so I
yeah,
can
okay.
show people what they would be doing.
okay.
Because I gotta get that published and out there. So, yeah, that's July, I guess. Story times, 9:30-ish on Friday mornings. We usually don't start till 9:45, so my little friends can play and settle in for a little bit, and be a little late if they want to.
Okay, looks like a full month. Library Director Continuing Education Report, Melissa.
Yeah, it's relatively short. It's just the ALE exhibits, visiting with vendors. There's so many there. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone really talks very much on the bus trip there because everyone's sleeping because it's like 5:30 in the morning, so. I know I sleep, so. Beanstack is something that, and I feel like it's something we would have to want to budget for. And I don't think we're at that point right now. Yeah, it's just good to see all the vendors. I mean, a lot of it is books, you know, new books coming soon and things like that. I mean, I didn't really look at any furniture or anything like that because that's all part of our FEH thing, so I can't really see, you know, spending time with a vendor and then getting harassing phone calls from them, so. or not harassing, but phone calls, so.
So are any of these, any new vendors that you did?
The ones that were new, I kind of talked about a little bit underneath, just to say what they had to offer, what they were. Like Beanstack can help with summer reading, and you can do different reading tracking with. Graphic novels, I visited some of those just because I don't read them, and I don't have a good grasp on what's popular there. I feel like in the new library, we're gonna want more of that, so I'll have to try to either, well, I know Paul in Dyersville is very good in that section, so the superheroes I'm comfortable with, the manga and that kind of stuff, not at all, so. So anyway, Colibri has a book covering system. It's like a machine, but it's expensive. I don't think it would save us anything. I think all of our staff are pretty good at covering books, and we're pretty quick. And yeah. And then My Libro, I know I've talked to the salespeople before. What they do is they create an app for your library that puts everything in one place. It's nice, but I don't know that it's something that we really need. So, I don't know.
Even for the future?
Maybe in the future. I don't think right now. So, yeah, the graphic novels, comics, I think that's something that is of interest to teen readers. And, I mean, I'm comfortable enough with the, like, tweens, like 4th through 5th, 6th grade graphic novels. It's kind of the young adult that I don't know enough about, so.
And how much did it cost to send you to this program?
Just $40.
And was it an all-day thing?
Yes, it's a long day, because you don't get home until,
Where do you go?
this year it was in Chicago.
Oh.
Yeah. They have it all over the country, so, I mean, you can go anytime, but the further away it is, the more it costs. And you wouldn't go to just the exhibits, you would register for the whole conference and attend sessions and all that if you were going much
Okay.
further.
Okay, kind of hit a little bit on Friends of the Library meeting this Wednesday, July 12th at 6 p.m. Everybody can be there, it'd be great. Okay, then holiday hours and closed days,
Okay.
closing early days.
Yep. All right, so traditionally, and I'm just gonna move from this date forward in the calendar. So
Okay.
the next closed day we would be looking at would be the Saturday of Hometown Days. We have been closed that day for, I don't know, the last, probably, what, is this their 8th year? I think we've been
7th or 8th,
closed
I forget.
every one but one.
Okay.
And I think Becky said someone told her she was in the way that day with her car or something. So I think it's just better for everyone if we're not open that day. The parade is going through.
Sure.
If we had regular patrons that wanted to use the library on that day, they wouldn't be able to get in anyway. And sometimes library staff has traditionally been involved, maybe not Becky, but myself, Jane, we're usually trying to do the parade thing, so.
But you will post notice that
Yes.
it will be closed far
Yes.
enough ahead of time. then.
What do you think about, would people be interested in viewing the library? I know in one of those where we were down selling the popcorn and stuff, somebody from out of town was here for an event and wanted to see our library and talked about, she took a paper to donate because her husband was from here.
Oh, yeah, we let her in, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think we'd have enough people wanting to come in, other than to use the bathroom, which would just dirty our clean
Yeah.
bathrooms that
You'd
get
have to
cleaned
have
once a
somebody
week.
there.
Yeah, it would
That'd be
have to be a
close.
scheduled
I could
event.
see the new library being open
Right.
because of its location
Right.
and proximity to Hometown Days, like people may need to come in and cool off, or the community room might be in use.
I'm more
But-
interested in seeing it
Sure.
because it is new. you know,
Right,
Right.
right.
I-
But
this is
I would be
They've seen this
surprised
one.
if there were
And
too
seen
many
it.
that would
And
seen
sort
it.
through.
52 years.
That's right. You know,
So,
but it might be something to consider once the new one's up to make it
oh, yeah,
available, or-
yeah, I think once the new one's up, I could see being open then. But I think the current one, with the location and the parade and everything else that's going on,
Yeah.
closed. Let's see, so the one after that is Labor Day, we're closed on Labor Day. I talked to Becky about the Saturday before that, just to see where she was at, she wants to work, so I say we leave it. I don't want to take anyone's hours away from them, I think there would be some traffic through, you know, maybe not as much as a normal Saturday, but, all right, so that's those two. Next up comes the Thanksgiving holidays. So my suggestion would be the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we close at 5:30 instead of 6:30. Thoughts?
Sounds
That
fine.
seems fair.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And just make sure that it's posted.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty of time, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I
The regular
I wouldn't
hours on
really
Friday.
be, I wouldn't really object even to 5.
Mhm.
What does anybody else think?
Yeah, it sounds fine to me too.
And then what do you do? You're back open Friday?
Nope,
No?
it's a
Saturday?
paid holiday. Yep, Saturday we're
Okay.
open.
All
So
right,
close
okay.
Friday, okay.
So closed
Thursday and Friday we're
Thanksgiving
closed.
and day after.
Right. I think 5's fine, you know.
Okay,
People like to
so we'll say
get going to what
5.
they want to do too.
All right,
Right.
so
Right.
close Thanksgiving, day after Thanksgiving, open the Saturday.
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna write that down, because that's what we do.
How much notice do you have to give on that? To-
Usually,
like
we
to
try to
get-
put the sign up a couple weeks ahead, or
Okay.
at the beginning of the month,
that's
or
a good idea.
whatever.
Yeah. And
That's
put it
plenty
in
of
our
warning.
calendar. that-
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I know, and I believe, and I thought I had that in here somewhere, but I might have removed it. We need to look at revising the personnel policy, because I think it's been a while since we've done that one.
Revise what?
The personnel policy. I think it's been a while since we've done that one. The rest we're very up to date on. But anyway, I believe in that policy, it kind of discusses these hours, so I'll make sure I get them in there. For Christmas, we have been closed the 24th, 25th, and 26th, and the 26th is an unpaid. All staff know that. Staff do get paid the other holidays, not hometown days.
Yeah.
That is not an official holiday. But staff get paid hours, so part-time staff get 4 hours for Labor Day, Memorial Day, all the holidays, basically, that our city holidays, they get 4 hours. So closed December 24th, 25th, 26th, 24th, and 25th are paid 4 hours for part-time staff, 8 hours for me as a full-time staff. Let's see. So
Are
that-
you the only full-time?
December 31st, which is New Year's Eve, and January 1st, which is New Year's Day. Those are city holidays, so that's same thing. We don't typically close the 2nd. It would depend on how that holiday would fall, I think. But typically, I would say no. If it falls on a Monday, I'll be here.
On the 30th.
I don't
we'd
get
have
very excited
regular
about New
hours.
Year's, I apologize.
You're right. And we'd have regular hours on the 30th of December.
Oh, how does that fall this year?
There's no calendars up here.
I noticed that too. That's why I keep
Yeah.
pulling my phone.
What?
The 30th this year falls on a Saturday, so we won't really have to worry about it because we're only open 9 to noon. So we won't worry about that this year. We'll have to look
Next year.
next year in July. I think July meeting, since we're starting a new fiscal year, is probably a good time to look at the calendar. And maybe I'll remember to do it.
Make a
Um,
note.
All right, so that covers New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Our next holiday is Memorial Day. We're closed. And then I guess after that, we come to the 3rd, 4th of July. 4th, we're closed. I would recommend 5 or 5:30 on the 3rd, because I did track this. So on the 3rd, we had it was from 10 to noon. I opened at 9, I didn't have anyone come in till 10. 17 people. Noon to 4, we had 8. 4 to 5, we had 1. 5 to 6:30, we had 1. So I think we're safe at closing at 5 or 5:30 the 3rd, but
Well, you might as well make it 5 if you're gonna make it 5:30.
I like 5.
okay.
Gives people a chance if they
Yeah.
want, if
Oh,
they want
yeah.
to get to Dubuque, to the fireworks, or
Right.
Yeah.
anyone.
Dyersville.
Dyersville, right?
All right, closed at 5 on the 3rd next. in
Then would you
2024.
send us an email with all
Yes.
those dates so we can
Yes.
post them somewhere?
Just write email
Yep.
Lisa too. Just
Yep,
keep her in
yep.
a loop.
And I know there's a few added city holidays, but I guess, I told Lisa I wasn't gonna worry about those, so. We'll
You
just
mean-
leave it at that.
Are they off Martin Luther King Day or
City Hall is,
President's Day or what?
They were
no, I
closed
think they're
July
doing, Martin Luther King,
Veterans?
Columbus.
President's Day?
Veterans Day and President's Day,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they're
All
they're
city
closed, but-
personnel
Yeah.
are off and getting paid holiday pay.
Right.
But we're not closing the library.
No.
Okay, thank you, Melissa.
And I'm not included in that city staff thing, so. Okay, so that covers our holidays, and I had other hot spots, but we kinda covered where we are with that. So I will keep everyone in the loop on that and email any info I get. I'll stalk Fred some more.
Well, one more time won't hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and
Maybe it'll show.
until the
maybe it'll
guy
show-
starts swearing at me, I'm okay with calling him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, we will adjourn the meeting.
I had one other thing I noted too. When it first got on, I thought, I'm gonna get up to speed and see everything that's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed there's nothing on the website. Or do I run it wrong? I clicked on every program, it says content's
I know,
coming,
I have
content's coming,
The same,
content's
there's
coming.
more than one place to go is what the problem
Maybe,
is.
and maybe I didn't do it right, but, you know, I thought just to read up what
Right.
each program involved, and just to get more up to speed with it.
Yeah.
And everything was, nothing's there. You know,
Oh, I wonder,
Because there's like two different sites. and
right,
one-
the state library one we don't use.
So
It's,
is
Maybe
there
that's what
something
it's under
like
the
we could
city.
say-
It's
Under the
City of
city?
Cascade,
Is there a way we can post to go to the other one?
yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
email and ask them to turn that one off, that way it's
Yeah.
just not even there.
what's kind of off anyhow?
Yeah,
It's off.
basically all it does
Yeah.
is, the one will take you to
De
the
facto
catalog.
Shut down.
Yeah. Okay,
But
so
yeah,
go to
if
the
you
city
go,
Cascade.
yep,
All
if
right.
you go to City of Cascade and then,
I think I probably bid Cascade Public
Public
Library or
Library's
something,
there.
probably, that,
yeah,
what I probably did.
and then it's got
Okay, well, that's good to know.
different links on there, so.
Okay, thanks.
And I did ask that Chantel put a place on there for policies, so once that's up, then I can load policies. And I'm gonna
They
get you copies of those.
Okay.
And they were
You'll
supposed
have
to
those.
add a place for the Friends of the Library in there
Right,
too.
right,
I wonder if
that's
she's
right.
done that.
Last I checked, there wasn't any changes, but I'm sure they'll be coming, so.
And if the state one is closed, you can still get to the catalog through the city one?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, there's a button on there for the city, or for the library catalog. And yeah, I'm gonna, just email her and ask her to turn it off, and that way, if there's ever time, I'll have some staff go in and work on it,
Well,
and
it's
maybe
silly
get
to
it
have
operational, but.
Two different spots to, you know.
Yeah, well, and that's partly why, when they got the new city website, it's like, well, why don't we just go with that
Oh, I wouldn't have two different spots.
No.
Yeah.
No,
That's
it's
Just operate through the
crazy.
city.
No.
All right.
Yep, yep.
Now we
So,
have to pick a meeting date?
well, it should be the first Tuesday in.
That's August 1st.
August.
August 1st.
Ooh,
Is that okay?
okay with everyone?
Here's me.
I might be messy. It's foam party day.
Oh, that's okay,
Oh,
that's all right.
Oh,
That's okay.
That's a
I
fun
had to do
day.
the story walk today. It's like, I didn't dress right for this.
That's-
But,
That's always at 4:30 here.
4:30. Once in a great while, we'll have to meet at the library, but that doesn't happen very often. Okay, well, someone make a motion to
I'll
adjourn,
make a
please.
motion to adjourn.
I'll
Okay,
second it.
all approve?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, guys.
and I'm gonna let everyone know, I will not be in the library tomorrow. Dad gets to go
Oh,
home.
that's good.
That's great.
Wonderful.
So I'm gonna
I
be
hope it
going to
goes
get him.
well.
She said, I can hold him another day if you're not able to come and get him. I said, yeah, no, I better come get him.
Yeah, he's been gone long enough.
Yeah, I mean, his first surgery was the first week of May, so he's been in the hospital pretty much
Wow.
3 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you want pictures of the bookmarks sent
Yes,
to
please.
your text or email?
Yep, just,
Okay.
yeah, whichever works for
Okay,
you.
I think that's my only
Yeah,
assignment.
there you go.
Thanks, John.
Reports are confusing.